Hello and welcome back to Chasing Trophies. This is our FIFA World Cup edition, and today we'll be talking about the England team, looking into the squad, looking at to their chances in the FIFA World Cup. England has a huge following in football. ऐसा जो इंडियन क्रिकेट का होता है, फुटबॉल में इंग्लैंड का होता है. काफी लोग उनके बारे में चर्चा करते हैं, बात करते हैं, उनके 11s बनाते हैं, स्क्वाड के बारे में चर्चा होते हैं. भाई मैगवायर को क्यों नहीं लिया, जैसा हम लोग बोलते हैं आकिब नबी को क्यों नहीं लिया, एंड फोर्डन को क्यों नहीं लिया, पामर को क्यों नहीं लिया. But joining me is Fez. The World Cup is starting, and we talk about England, the most controversial, most talked about team always. How are you looking at the squad going into this World Cup?
It looks different, Musawa, considering past जो तभी हम देखे obviously Premier League follow करते, we support like respect most of us that we know in our सराउंडिंग्स लाइक प्रीमियर लीग फॉलो करते, प्रीमियर लीग देखते, लिवरपूल, मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड, ऐसा हम हाइप हो जाते कि यार इंग्लैंड कुछ तो खाड़ देंगे, कर देंगे, बट सपना ही रह गया, राइट. इट्स बीन व्हाट लाइक अ लॉन्ग टाइम. 1966 में एक ही वर्ल्ड कप जीते, बट उसके बाद से तो बिखरे से हैं. 2010 से तो एटलीस्ट अगर प्रॉपरली अगर आप बोलो, बट उधर भी अच्छा नहीं करे थे. 2014 में भी जल्दी निकल गए थे. 2018 वाज स्टिल अ बेटर वर्ल्ड कप. And 2022 quarterfinal against France, they got eliminated. So I mean, it's not been the best, right? Considering जो हम talents या जो हम हमेशा पागल होते हैं यार, ये Rooney, Gerrard, Scholes, XYZ. But this time around under Tuchel, it looks a little bit more of a different approach. Jordan Henderson अभी team में आए हैं, तो थोड़ा वो confused हैं कि why is this guy here right now? Probably you could have taken many other players that come to the back of the mind and stuff like that. So I think it looks still like a team that could have probably done better in various areas. Like, you could have picked much better players, but now that Tuchel has this, he's had success at Chelsea, he's done well around. Let's see what, it's still a very uncertain England team, but there's a lot of hope in this side as well.
Yeah, for me, it's still similar to the Southgate thing. Like, if you look at it, he's not gone with like those attacking players. Like, you could have gone with Palmer. I know he didn't have the best of season, but he's somebody who has a shot on him, who will take risks. We got Phil Foden over there, who will look to, attack defenders. Then Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's also somebody who has a lot of creativity. But then again, maybe in a big game when you're playing against France or Spain, you want to Reece James, you're not going to play him. So there is that Southgate kind of thinking. But also in the World Cup, you've seen like pragmatic football has helped also in the past. But one I think miss that everyone's talked about it, that's Harry Maguire, because he had the composure. He's been playing World Cups for England and Euros big games for a long time now, and he had a very good season on top of that. If you see the centre backs right now, there is uncertainty. Like John Stones was injured the whole season. Now he's looking to lead the line. I don't even know if he's going to start. They're going to go with Gay, obviously, and if Stones is not fully fit, they'll probably start with Konza. Konza, he played for Aston Villa. Not like, I'm no disrespect to Villa, but like, Maguire has a bit more experience in bigger matches than him. And that's where I think they've missed out on that. In big games, if your defense starts leaking, then your attack is in trouble as well. So those couple of areas, I think that's where they've lacked a bit, particularly in that attacking midfield creativity area and also the centre backs.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And I think, like, even if you look at their formation right now, they're playing four in the back and then two right ahead of the defensive line. So 4-2-3-1 ऐसे चल रहा है उनका. So कहीं ना कहीं वो है to make up for that Harry Maguire miss, 5 at the back wala situation, something like that. And they're playing like Henderson, who's a little bit more defensive minded. तो थोड़ा वहाँ पे कुशन मिल जा रहा है. कौन ला राइट बैक खेलेगा आपके आपके लेफ्ट बैक पे स्पेंस खेलेगा, who has space and stuff. Then Gehi and जैसा आप बोले Stones. So वैसा tactic है, and I think Kobe Manu will probably play alongside Henderson. So Kobe will be moving up and down, and then you'll have Henderson manning the guard and stuff like that. So experience है आपके पास, साथ ही साथ youth का भी mix है. So it's a bit of excitement, but yes, players like you mentioned, Palmer, Foden, तरह no brainer दिखता है कि भाई इन लोगों को नहीं लेके गए. अब देखना है कि भाई how he can turn this team into something miraculous, right?
Yeah, I think they should play Elliot Anderson in that midfield, either instead of Henderson or like Henderson. Also, I didn't understand it. Like, I don't understand that pick, because I know experience is there and stuff like that. But here, there's going to be a demand in terms of the stamina. And England, by the way, if you look at their route, their potential knockout game is going to be against Mexico in Mexico City on the high altitude, and that means it's like 20,000 feet. There's going to be breathing difficulties already. Like former English players like Graham Souness, Guy Lineker have talked about it. Mexico is not an easy place to go, and you have to adapt over there. Even for we were just talking to Gianni on the live yesterday, and he was also mentioning he went to Mexico to visit, and you do have breathing difficulties over there because of the high altitude and settings. So in those kind of situations, I don't know if like somebody like a Henderson will work, but let's see how they go over there. But they do have some incredible talent, and that is Harry Kane. They've got Bellingham, Saka. They need them to click. Look, Saka's also coming back from injury. Bellingham has had a very stop-start season. He's also been injured at times. Harry Kane was decent in the Champions League, but he's also missed games, and he's also in now probably his last World Cup. He might have one more, but I think this might be his last World Cup. So it's important for these guys to step up to the plate for them.
100%. I mean, Harry Kane, so you'd want to step up because obviously he's also on the verge of like, I think already the top scorer for England and stuff. Plus the season that he's had with Bayern, he scored like a lot of goals this season as well. Now behind him, it's important. Like I think Rashford or Ollie Watkins, I think Saka will be the ones who will be playing. So there is a good attacking unit there. It's just the clickability of these guys in a big tournament. वो थोड़ा अभी तक नहीं हमारे को समझ में आ रहा है. Last time around 22, they did very well. I think they came up against us, France team missed out on a penalty. It was Harry Kane who missed the penalty. They lost 2-1 that game. But under Tuchel, I think, like you said, pragmatic भी रहेगा. But you need someone with flamboyance. वो थोड़ा यहाँ पे miss हो रहा है. It looks like everybody is a good squad. वही जरा सिर फिरा, someone who can, and that somewhere you will probably miss like a Palmer out of the back box kind of a guy, कुछ भी आके चढ़ जाएगा एक दिन, an honest day. But I think if you look at the talent wise, like you mentioned, कि भाई बहुत ज़्यादा है. They've also got Tony, they've also got Rashford, like I mentioned, they've got Gordon also on the bench. Midfielders में Elliot Anderson, very good option. जैसा बोले box to box भी है, जबरदस्त आपको डिफेंस में भी साथ देगा. प्लस ही गिव्स यू द काउंटर पे आपको बॉल रिलीज करके अटैक कर लिया, मिडफील्डर्स को जल्दी छोड़ेगा, तो दैट विल probably give. But this England looks like they'll probably wait to attack. Probably they'll more look to play on the counter. They'll probably endure more, and then ball milte ki try to ढकलोफाई with the pace they have on the counter with Rashford and Saka and Rogers and Watkins. जितने भी लोग आप खिलाओगे पूरे पेस ओरिएंटेड दिख रहे, तो बॉल छीन के जल्दी जल्दी रिलीज करना वाला ही टैक्टिक दिख रहा है. बट yeah, I mean, it looks like a good squad. Group देखो मुस्तफा भाई, like they've got Ghana, they've got Panama, and one more team. I forgot who the other team is. I forgot that Ghana hai, England, Panama, and can you remember the
Croatia?
Croatia. Yeah. So where do you see England finishing? Ghana and Croatia will actually be a challenge for them.
Yeah, I think they will. It'll be close games, but England should top the group. I think England should top the group. If they come second, it might be a blessing in disguise also, because then they have to avoid going to Mexico. But actually, English fans are looking forward to going over there, and they're already planning that. We can. But if you look at it overall and the team that they have, that you do expect England to win. Croatia game will be tough. It could be a draw as well. But even if that is a draw, or if England drop, I still expect them to be in the top two. I think top they should qualify. Against Ghana as well, I expect them to win. Against Panama, I expect them to win as well. So I think they should top the group over there. If we're looking at the formation, we'll have Pickford in goal. Then the centre backs will be probably Gay and Konsa, or Gay and Stones if he's fit. Then right back, Reece James is all right.
Reece James, I mean, depending on his fitness, but I think in the last game that they played against New Zealand, he played Konsa, the Liverpool guy. That Konsa. So I think he played, and on the left it was who was the guy, man? Spence.
Judge Spence.
Yeah, Spence. Yeah.
Yeah, I would not do that, but yeah, I'm surprised that Judge Spence is in the squad, but I think that's what they've gone with. Then in midfield,
I mean, they have Nick O'Reilly also. I think I'd put Nick O'Reilly as well on the left rather than Spence. And right play, like you said, Reece James, just the experience factor.
Yeah, Reece James, O'Reilly, and then let's go in the centre back, Stones and what's his name, Gay. And then in midfield, we have Declan Rice, obviously. We've got Elliot Anderson and probably Jude Bellingham just to play a bit attacking, like in that 10 role. And then on the left, you can start with Rashford and then swap with Gordon when required. In the middle, you have Harry Kane, and on the right, you've got Bukayo Saka, and he can be swapped with his best friend Madueke when required. But yeah, that's where I would have put freaking Foden or Palmer and stuff instead of Madueke. I wouldn't have taken Madueke, man. I'll be very honest with you. But there is talk. Sorry to cut you there, but there is talk. These kind of decisions have also been made because you want players from off the bench. The reason why Ivan Toney is picked, he's had a clear conversation with Thomas Tuchel, and Thomas Tuchel told him, "I need you for the last 5-10 minutes of every game." or last, even after the 90th minute, I need you to come on, I need you to score, or I need you to take a penalty. So he's had clear conversations, and maybe with Matt Ueke, he's told him you're going to come off the bench, and maybe it's a bit difficult for him to handle other players who probably want more minutes, who are probably not used to coming off the bench, and maybe it's a tactical move at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think given the seasonal also the guy had the respective. I mean, Ivan Toney is a 90-minute man, but the particular that period that you mentioned, he scored a lot of goals in those periods, right? Like so, the nervous 90th or the 80 to 90th minute when Al Ahly needs a goal or something. You see him coming and scoring a penalty, or you go and see him scoring something like a at the death goal. So yeah, Ivan Toney is perfect for that. Madueke has been a super sub for Arsenal because of Saka's injury as well. So I think they're already determined to. They've already understood the dynamics of the responsibility. So, like you said, it makes it more easier for them. But wait, just someone out of the box, unless Jude Bellingham plays a worldly World Cup. Again, I don't know, like how they set up right now in the warm up match. Will that be the way they're going to go 4-2-3-1? And they want to be more defensive with maybe trying to play Kobe and Henderson. I don't know if that was an indication or it was just because it was a warm up. They didn't try to play the best team. Obviously, Declan Rice is also there. He's world class, so maybe Henderson can sit and Declan Rice will start for sure. But there are a lot of combination permutation that you can play with this England squad right now, and I think that is the thing that maybe Tuchel just didn't want the headache to deal with any kind of tantrums.
Yeah, and they've gone opposite to 2006 in terms of their camp. The camp is in Kansas. In 2006, you remember the Wags were allowed as well. They were in a team hotel with they were in the hotel with the journalists, and the team hotel was different, but there was a whole drama going on in 2006. Now they're in Kansas, the training camp, and the hotel. The hotel is only 55 rooms. He's picked this hotel on purpose, a bit low key kind of hotel, and they've customized it. So normally hotels here are 200-300 rooms. But this is just 55 rooms. They've customized it. They've got their own rehabilitation facilities. They've got their own gym that they've made and they've implemented. And they've been working on this for the last year. The FA have gone to Kansas particularly, and they've worked on modifying this hotel to their needs. And, the training ground is right there. It's accessible. Also, there are a few buildings like this around the training ground. So people who live in apartments, and for example, if this is Kansas, you can actually see like Jude Bellingham over there drinking coffee, and there's a coffee like having breakfast and stuff like that. So it's a bit open to the public, but at the same time, it's their own private space, and that's what Tuchel has gone. So there's a lot of thought going into the World Cup. It's not just कि भाई ये tactics करना है, ये करना है और match खेलना है. By preparation कैसा करना है, and they've got their own chefs. Also, the England team have got their own chefs, and they're trying to make it a homely kind of feeling. Obviously, remember last time Saka was on that pinata thing in that swimming pool. So they'll have their own swimming pool. They'll have their projector. They watch like Love Island and stuff, right? Like during the Euros or something. Yeah. So they have their own community over there, and that whole build-up will be included. They will be in Kansas, and the reason why they picked Kansas also is that it's in the middle of America, so it's easier to go west and east and south as well. And if they need to go to Canada or Mexico also, they can go. So that is the strategic planning in terms of the camp.
I mean, it looks very, very, very well thought through. And I think from 22 to 26, I think Tuchel has sort of put a lot of thought on what he wants and what he needs. He's been to a lot of matches as well, and the planning in the hotels and stuff. England could be that underdog team. I mean, a lot of people aren't talking about them, rightfully so, because there are a lot more teams ahead of them in terms of the depth and in terms of the skill, individual skill. I think England is still decent, but on the day, dominance, England is not shouting it out currently. But I think it'll be a slow start, maybe 1-0 here and there. I mean, I'm still scared of the Ghana and I forgot the other team again.
Croatia,
because Croatia is also a very good team. So if they just manage to survive out of that group, I mean, survive is a very strong term, but that's how I'll put it, because that's how intense it probably will get. But yeah, I think I still favor England probably to reach a far, far, far way in this tournament.
So you see them in the semi-finals?
I'm seeing them in the semi-finals for some reason. I don't know why.
And the player to watch out for?
Player to watch out from England, I think Harry Kane, and I think just Harry Kane himself.
Yeah, that's a good shout, but that was a lot of fun. I mean, इस video में England के बारे में बात करें. There's also other teams that we're going to be talking about, and we'll do more other fun interactive stuff as well. We have our lives coming and a short, so do hit the like button, subscribe button. Thank you, Faiz, as well. It was a lot of fun talking about the England team, and obviously there's more teams to talk about. But England, there is always, that thing every World Cup we go in, they have big names. I still remember that 2006 World Cup. They had Beckham, Rooney, Lampard, Gerrard, Rio Ferdinand, John Terry, Ashley Cole, and the names just kept going bigger and bigger. Paul Scholes was there, and Emil Heskey was there, Darren Bent was there. Everybody was there, but they just went crashing down. There was a lot of controversy. They had two different types of media. One media was for the wives and girlfriends, and one media was for the actual football. And then they merged together as well. There was a lot of drama. In 2010, also, there was a bit of drama. That USA game, I think they started with green. We watched that game together, and the goalkeeper let it go. Yeah, 2002 was a game where they just got beaten by an amazing Brazil team and an amazing goal from Ronaldinho. And then 2018, I think they played very good against Southgate semi-finals. People say that, oh, he's shit, this and that. Our players are so good. I don't think they're as good as people think, like in terms of man-to-man. If you match them against England, France, England versus France or England versus Spain, or even England against Portugal, I think that Portugal, Spain, France are much better man-to-man, like in terms of talent, in terms of thing, which that's just my, But now Tuchel will need to come up with a tactic, which Southgate did, to be fair, which will work for them and allow them to get past in big games. And one thing is, they've also sorted their penalty shootout problems. Before they had huge issues with that, even in the 2021 Euros. But I'm even talking about Southgate himself, missed in the 96 Euros, I think. They had heartbreak in 2006 World Cup against Portugal in the penalties as well. But after that, they've worked on that. They have good penalty takers. And now they've gotten people, especially for penalties like Ivan Toney as well and Kane. So I think they'll be sorted in that situation. But let's see what happens. Thank you for joining. And we will catch you guys soon. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and take care, everybody.